Hi there, Jaya.
Hello,
How are you doing?
I'm doing all right. I'm doing all right. Thank you. How are you?
I am doing just fine.
It's a good start.
Are you doing just audio today or joining us with video also?
I put my, oh, I thought I clicked it. There.
There you are. Good
I'm
morning.
finishing my apple, so
Oh, I see.
here I am. Hi.
How are
Hi,
you
hi.
feeling? How are you feeling these days? You
I'm
doing well?
feeling, most of the days I feel good, but some days I have pain because my hand and foot are still aiming toward being totally healed.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm working as if nothing's wrong. As far as gardening, I'm not doing
Right,
work. My work is too close to people physically.
right.
I can do some coaching because I do that just verbally
Uh-huh.
with some New York people, and they're like, I can't believe in this with what's going on, Christine, that to be living on the 25th floor of an apartment
Oh,
building,
I know.
where you have to, when we first go in the lobby,
Yep.
go in the elevator, then go in another lobby,
Mm-hmm.
then out in the streets, then to the park in a few blocks.
Right.
Some of them they're not freaking out, but they're longing and longing for, they keep talking about normal, and I try to work it in my mind. The whole idea about the Gestalt coaching is that you help them spark themselves. You're not
Mhm.
giving your opinion, your feedback, or
Right. Mm-hmm.
weaving questions they can then pose to themselves. I feel like saying, can you let go of the word normal?
Mm-hmm.
Drive yourself crazy so much.
Yeah.
Then you can be open to, okay, this is what's happening now. But you can't do it that way.
Yeah.
And I feel for them too.
Mm-hmm.
How are you doing in general with the whole thing?
I'm doing well, but that's because my life is wonderful here on the Cape. I'm out biking, hiking, swimming, and
Yeah.
it's gorgeous here. And
Yeah.
I really feel for people that don't have
Yeah.
nature as their outlet.
Right. And we have nature. Most all of us can step outside our door onto the soil.
Yeah.
We have trees. I see your greenery in your back windows there.
Yeah. I live out on this porch.
Ah,
It has sliders all around, so I just open them up in the
wonderful.
morning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't crave being social as much as some people, sort of. You know,
Well, I have a few friends that let me just let Lydia in.
good.
How do I let Lydia in? There's this automatic waiting room that people go into. So you have to,
Oh, I've never had to work it.
there it is, admit.
All right.
Now she's coming. Hi, Lydia. Anyway, so I'm seeing one friend at a time, and we
Yeah.
either bike or go to the beach or hike or, so I don't feel deprived really.
Yeah, it's wonderful.
Yeah.
I'm still being, I've been semi-isolated since the second week in January, because of hospitalization, the blood infection and all that.
Yeah.
Um, But at least I have a very well quarantined neighbor who's a friend, and we walk.
That's good.
Another friend might come and we visit on the deck, and my
Mhm.
friend comes once a week. And she's a doctor in town though. So she masks up before she gets out of the car, and she's very careful with it.
Mhm. Yeah.
Who
That's
knows?
good.
So we
Hey,
hang out
Lydia.
in the
Are you
garden.
gonna do video or are you just audio?
Yeah, it says, let's see, start video. There we go.
Hey, there you go.
Now
Nope,
it's
off again.
there we go.
There you go. You're backlit, so we can't see you
Yeah.
very well, but that's okay. Not, I mean, not that we don't want to see you, but I mean, we can see where your face is.
Yeah.
So Jane said she was going to join us.
Yeah.
Have you heard from Beth?
Nope, I don't have Beth. Chris could not make it. When it was going to be at 11, she changed a meeting so she could make it, but then she can't make 2 this time. But it's only for this week because of
Yeah.
we had to have 48 hours and it was noon when I emailed Courtney to post it. And so we had to make it later today in order to,
Because of the holiday, July 4th.
because Friday was a holiday, so that didn't count.
So is the next meeting, what time is the next meeting?
It'll be back at 11
Okay.
or not. Yeah. So now we can do 11 because the town got another Zoom account that people can use for committee meetings. So we don't have to wait for the emergency management team meeting to end. So we're somewhat back to normal, kind of, except
Yeah.
we can't see each other in person.
Kind of, sort of.
Yeah.
I like your shirt, Lydia.
Thank you. It's kind of technicolor.
Yeah,
It is.
Really has an impact. Like, hi there, I like that. I'm gonna
I
put
like
this,
that painting there. That's pretty. The
That?
painting behind you.
that's one of my pastels.
Oh, really?
That's Fort Hill from up on the bluff, just as the daylight is starting to crack.
Nice. It's so very relaxing just to look at it.
Mm-hmm.
Thank
Shall
you.
we? Shall I text Jane just to see if she's? She might need a
Sure. A little push.
Little nudge.
Yeah.
nudge, nudge. Ooh, I'm calling us a. Oops. There we go. Okay. Do you think she's in the waiting room?
She just showed up.
Okay.
Hi, Jane. Can you hear us, Jane? You're muted.
There she
Am I
is.
still?
Nope, now we can hear you.
Good.
So maybe we should get going since it's a little after 2. I need somebody to take minutes.
I'm sorry, it wouldn't be me.
Okay.
Jane, could you do it?
Sorry. Oh, well, I could.
I think it's because the chair, the chairs do a lot as it is. So
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
Let's find some paper here.
Okay.
Okay.
All righty. So we're starting the meeting at 2:03 p.m. And let's introduce ourselves. I'm Christine Shreves, co-chair, one of the 2 co-chairs of Wellfleet Recycling Committee.
I'm Jane Sharp.
Lydia
can't-
Vivante.
I'm Jaya, one of the committee members.
And Jane, are you doing video or choosing not to?
Well, I can see you. I'm seeing you on my iPhone. I'm trying to also get on my iPad. Let me see if I can do that.
That's okay.
Well, then I can see everybody.
Oh, you can see better, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so does anyone have any announcements or, oh yeah, I never printed out the agenda. So what I'm going to do is put the agenda up, share the screen with you.
Is Lonnie joining us today?
I have not heard from Lonnie.
She hasn't mentioned it. I haven't seen her in several days.
let me just pull up the agenda. There we go.
Do you want me to send her a quick text and see if she knows?
Sure, I just did, but if you want to send one too.
Okay, you're fast.
Do we have a quorum then?
We do.
We do, yeah. Okay, so here's the agenda.
Oh, she said she's joining us, Jane, but she might be in the,
Oh, okay, let me check the waiting room.
I don't know if there's a way to get it so the waiting room is visible at all times, because
Well, it is if I just did a screen share and that's why we couldn't see it anymore. And I'm in, let me stop my screen share and, oh, there's several people. Okay, let me admit everybody. Admit. So we have,
How do you get the gallery thing?
Jane, you have to turn off your phone so you're not on, you'll get feedback if you're on two devices.
Okay.
Did you turn off your phone?
Well, okay, I'll turn off the phone.
Okay. We have Kathy Farrell. Could you introduce yourself? You're muted right now.
Hi, I'm
Right there.
Carol. I live at 110 Kelly Way, and I love the swap shop. I would love to know if there's something I can do to help open it, including working at it
Wonderful.
or doing anything with the recycling group. This is the first summer I've ever been able to be here.
Wonderful. And what was your last name, Carol?
It's Kathy. It doesn't matter.
Kathy, I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
that's okay. And then
Okay.
Farrell is my last name, Farrell.
Alrighty. Okay, you're welcome to join us so we can see you, but if you're comfortable with just seeing us, that's fine too. And then we have someone whose phone says iPad 12 Armley.
That's my iPad ID for some reason.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
I don't quite know where it came from, but there we are.
Yeah, well, we can rename it, but as long as we know it's you.
No,
And
I think you better leave it.
Okay.
Actually.
Okay. Don't touch anything. That works, right?
I don't know how it happened, but I think it might do something to my iPad if you
Yes.
take it away.
And then we have a K20V who is muted. I can unmute you.
Okay, that's me, I think.
Yes, that's Kathy.
no, Kathy's.
No,
name
we
was-
have Kathy Farrell, and then we also have someone that's there. We have a K20V.
V.
That's Lonnie.
Oh, good.
Lonnie,
Oh.
hello there.
Yes, hi.
Nice to have you. Glad you're here. Okay, so we have Jane, Lonnie. I'm just writing down who is attending from the recycling committee, and Jaya, Lydia, and Christine. And
Christine? Is
Yes.
Christine?
yes,
Oh. I don't see her. Where? She's not on my gallery view.
you might not have room for everybody in one view.
I do. I have room for 9.
Well, I see me. Does everybody else see me?
Yep, I see you.
I see Jaya, I see Kathy, and I see Lydia.
Maybe press the little green button so it makes your screen bigger.
I don't have a little green button.
All right. Well,
Thank you for joining us, Kathy. We can introduce ourselves again. I'm Christine. I'm co-chair along with Lydia Bavanti. And you're muted at the moment, Kathy.
I thought I was supposed to be muted all the time.
Well, for this smaller meeting, it's fine. Like,
Okay.
a really big one, but we're informal and small. So, and so these two blank spots here are, one is Jane and one is Lonnie, who are both members of the recycling committee without video on. So does anyone have any welcome announcement? Well, we've done welcomes, announcements. Anything they want to bring up? So let's get into the agenda.
I've just made myself visible. I
We
think.
can
There
see
we
you, Jane. Thank you. All
I
righty, so
didn't
now
realize
I'm
you
going
could-
to
thank
try to share a screen of the agenda again. And there it is. Everybody can see that? So the first thing
Yes.
on the agenda is the transfer station update and swap shop reopening proposal. And Jane, you are taking minutes?
I am, and I actually happen to have a printed copy of the agenda, so that's good.
Excellent. That makes it even easier.
Yeah.
We got a, oh, sorry.
Yeah, I was just going to say probably same as Lydia. Mike Sakali, the transfer station foreman, emailed saying that things are running well at the transfer station. They are taking cash now. And there has been a proposal received from Ronald about reopening the swap shop,
Great.
but it requires quite a bit in infrastructure. So Lydia, do you want to talk about the plan, or do you want to wait till we
Well,
discuss it?
From Roland. Roland Blair is the swap shop volunteer coordinator. I don't know if you've met him, Kathy.
I have. Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
I know the swap shop, you probably know Roland. So he came up with a plan. It's probably a few pages. I think it's premature to discuss it really because of Mike's statement about not doing this quite yet. And it would be the transfer stations managed by the DPW, but also the Board of Health. The Board of Health regulates it, so it would be probably the best place for them to discuss the plan is at the Board of Health meeting.
Mhm. So there is a proposal, and we'll get some feedback from the health agent. Yeah.
Could I ask if someone could kindly just summarize the essentials of this plan before we send it somewhere else?
I can look, let me see if I can get it.
From what I remember, while Lydia's looking, he recommended that there be one day for drop-offs when there aren't any customers picking up, and then a separate day just for people coming to shop. That way there wouldn't be a lot of, people bringing things in and out along with shoppers. And that requires getting some kind of a unit where we can take in donations, and then they can then sit for a period of time until they're brought into the swap shop. And
Is this a COVID preparation? Is this a COVID thing?
yeah, swap shop
Yeah.
has been closed
Yeah.
since.
Yes, I see.
Yeah.
No, I mean the waiting for a few days from the
Yes.
donation. Yes.
Yes,
yes.
exactly.
And
So it would require staff, to take donations and to have pretty strict guidelines on what is accepted. There's always been a problem with a lot of things coming in one door and then going into the trash, and we need to sort of be more vigilant about making sure that they are viable for people wanting them.
Yeah.
Anyway, so there's sort of a lot of details to work out. The number one, getting a metal, I can't remember what they're called, the metal things with a door that you walk into, that they have a number of at the dump, and it would be a matter of finding somewhere where donations could be decontaminated on one day, received, stored, and then until they're brought in 7 days later into the swap shop. And then of course there would have to be, only a certain, one or two people or whatever in at a time. So all of those details need to be worked out, and it will definitely take a lot of staff. So we will definitely keep you in the loop, Kathy. And we appreciate your help.
you could write to Roland directly So he could keep you up to date with what he's doing.
Okay.
Are you on his email list already?
I used to be notified when there were volunteer openings. That hasn't happened lately because the shop has been closed. So I don't know if I'm on his list or not. I
Okay.
guess I used to be.
Well, if you want to just email wellfleetrecycles@gmail.com, then we can forward your email address to Roland,
Okay.
or give it to us verbally.
Sure, I can give it to you verbally.
Okay.
It's K Farrell, Farrell, hyphen, like the middle thing, not the low thing.
Mhm.
D like dog, fail, Fail, F like Frank, at Comcast.net.
Okay.
So I guess this would be more of a Roland comment, but we happen to have a tent that I wonder if it would be useful. Would that be an option? Some kind, it's not a permanent structure, but it would protect items from the rain.
Oh, possibly. That is something you could discuss with Roland. So I'm not sure I got the last part of that. It's K Farrell dash DF, and then what came later?
AIL.
At Comcast.
Yes.
At Comcast.net. Got it. Okay.
Yes, thank you.
I know that Wellesley operated a swap shop using a very large tent. They didn't have an enclosed space.
Ah,
And I visited there a number of years ago now. I'm not sure if they're still doing it the same way. But I think they have pictures of it on the Town of Wellesley website. So that might be something that Roland and the DPW health agent could consider. I know that Roland, in his notes, he was saying they would only accept small items right now. If you have things that you want to swap, there is some social media, or you could put signs up too if you have items that you want to.
I was at the transfer station last week, and someone threw away an entire set of Revere pans. They put them
Oh my God, that's awful.
in they were perfectly good pots and pans, an
Wow.
entire set of them with lids.
Wow.
So that I grabbed them, but
Yeah.
someone could probably use them more than I could. I just couldn't stand for them to be thrown away.
Right.
Yeah.
Those, I mean, that's something that people could put on if they were aware on the Wellfleet swap page. Well, the Wellfleet swap Facebook group.
I put
And maybe that's something that we should put on our Facebook or
Oh.
Instagram or something. Lydia, do you think? As a suggestion?
Maybe Instagram would be good because it's so picture.
Yeah. Okay. We could email Chris and see. We have a member of the committee who's doing our social media. So we could do an Instagram notice about what to do with your.
There are some old people like me, I guess, who have never gotten to Instagram. I did post some stuff for free at the Wellfleet, the swap
Uh-huh.
Facebook, and it didn't go. So I did cross post it to the community Wellfleet page, and it did go then. But
Good.
I don't know if they would love having lots of stuff being given away posted on them. I sort of
Yeah, probably not. I think the swap, you have to, join it and then they admit you.
That I
Got
did.
that?
Yep,
Oh,
that's
okay.
pretty easy to do, fortunately. But
Okay.
it just didn't, no one took it because there are a lot fewer.
Oh, I thought you meant that the posting process didn't work.
No,
Okay.
there are something like 1,000 people on Wellfleet Swap, but
Mhm.
3,000 plus people on the community page. So
Yeah.
a lot more people see the community page stuff.
Yeah. I have to just run and get a printout of the agenda so I don't have to keep going back and forth.
Yeah. So let me think what else. I don't know if the Turo swap shop is open. Does anyone know?
I don't know.
I doubt it.
I would be happy to do a
Is
little.
this something on the governor's guidance, by the way, the stage 3 guidance for opening up?
Wow,
That's interesting, yeah.
Is there a sort of swap shop transfer station category of opening up
I-
things?
I imagine thrift stores would be on there, but I don't know.
Mhm.
It's something we could talk to the health department about.
Ames Thrift Shop is not opened yet, but they did decide to accept some donations by appointment. And also they're selling some things from the window.
Hmm.
Have to call.
In other locations, the Salvation Army and Savers have opened.
Oh, yeah.
Mm.
So I don't know if they fell under retail. I don't know what the category is. I think they actually fell under retail and they opened in phase 2.
Well, we can try to find out, or if you're interested in, getting in touch with Ronald and,
Well,
I mean, sorry, and asking these questions and, trying to advocate for getting it going again. That's
Yeah.
great. That'd be
Okay.
great.
When is the Board of Health going?
next Board of Health meeting.
When are they going to review it? Because they're the bottom line decision makers.
Yep. Let's see, they meet, I think, twice a month. And their next meeting is, I'm not sure when it would be. But I recommend Kathy maybe calling Hillary Greenberg Lemos or sending an email to she's the Health and Conservation Agent.
Ah,
You might,
And she would be able to answer your questions about what the state guidelines are.
Mm.
It could be just, it's probably a DPW decision or a health department decision, is more likely, I suppose. Because the transfer station staff it's definitely a burden on them to, because they're obviously involved. It's on their site.
it could be too that there could be like a live virtual swap via a Zoom meeting. Say even during swap shop hours, you could, just to keep it.
That's interesting.
Post pictures that people, yeah,
Yeah.
Post pictures or just show the object, hold it up, or
uh-huh.
say, I have this, and then they'd have to figure out the,
Have a Vanna White hold up or whatever. it is.
yeah. That's something that could, I don't know, if
Mhm.
the appetite for that. But maybe.
I don't know the background of the swap shop and its creation, but are you guys in favor of it, or is it a problem that you would, prefer it go away, or?
No,
For myself, I love this.
No.
yeah, it's under the recycling committee it's under our umbrella. And Roland has always organized everything, which is fantastic, but it's definitely something we promote. Whatever keeps things out of the solid waste stream is a plus.
Oh, good.
Mhm.
So let's move on to number 2, which is the public spaces and beaches update. Do you have any updates, Lydia?
I don't. I haven't heard anything back from Hillary or from Suzanne Grow Thomas after sending them the signs that came from Care for the Cape and Islands and the,
Yeah. I did see the signs. I apologize. Someone just started up a leaf blower. I'm going to move inside. It's going to be a little bumpy, but I'm moving inside. My observations, I saw the new sign that was put up that Susanna had ordered. It's lots of words and not many pictures, and
yeah.
people are reading it. Some graphics would have been much better.
Mm.
And my observation is that people are social thing pretty well, but there's very few people with face masks in the parking lot and where it's constricted going up and down the stairs.
Right. Well, we could try again to see if they'd consider, they might have gotten that sign. I know that the Cape Cod Chamber of Commerce was offering signs. But
Mhm.
maybe, did it look like it was from them? They might just,
I couldn't tell,
uh-huh.
but I'll look at the bottom and see where it's from.
I thought the
Which
one,
beaches were you at, Christine?
Newcomb and Whitecrest and LeCount.
Right.
So you found that people were distancing pretty much?
Yeah, I mean, it was a little hard. I mean, when people like walk along the waterfront, they weren't paying a whole lot of attention to how close they were to other people.
Mhm.
We drew.
I have an observation watching people crossing Uncle Tim's Bridge.
Yeah.
And it seems to me, this is just my assumption, that locals are very good at masking and not getting on the bridge if somebody else is on it.
Yep.
But then there are a whole lot of other people who come across in great crowds and swarms and very close to each other, very few masks.
Yep.
So there's
Pretty much what's
there's
going
a
on.
separation of behaviors, it seems to me.
Yeah, I agree. It's definitely the visitors.
There seems to be some doubt about the point of wearing a mask. A lot of people think it's kind of rather a sissy thing to do, as opposed to we're wearing a mask because we do not want to infect you, right? It's an
I know.
altruistic thing to do.
Well,
I think
not to make-
a lot of
Turned
people
into a political discussion,
yeah.
unfortunately.
when I'm out walking, if I pass someone and they're wearing a mask, I turn to them and I say, "Thank you for your mask."
That's a very good idea. That's a
I
very
just
good
try
idea.
to give
Yeah.
them something positive that will make them feel like, well, that was worthwhile, I guess, putting the thing on.
Right, right.
Anyway, I want to thank them, and I do. I do.
That's
Do-
good.
Do most people get beach passes? And if so, could that be used as some kind of point of education or request or something?
Well, it's just by mail this year, and it certainly could, yes.
Well, even though it's by mail, you have to pick it up in person. Because we just got a second one the other day, and
Oh, okay.
they're not mailing them out because so many of them were lost in the mail.
Oh,
So you
Yeah,
have
that was odd. I still can't figure out this year suddenly
mm-hmm.
in the
So-
mail.
So you have to go to the window to pick it up. I don't know if that could be a point at which someone says something.
I think it could be, but I think those people are overwhelmed themselves. My husband had to go and pick up hours, and he came back saying people were being rude to the
Oh,
people working, trying to get them their stickers and really giving them a hard time. One guy in particular was horrible. And so it's hard to begin with. I mean, somebody twice in town was sworn at heavily when he turned to someone and said, "Where's your mask?" I don't think you challenge people like that. I don't think it's useful.
Mm-hmm.
Wearing a mask don't want to, and if you ask them why, it's rather personal. But people are getting flared up, some of them. So to try to say something at the window might be one thing too many right now for the people trying to do that service, you know. It's a good idea, Kathy, yes, for sure.
yeah, I see the problem.
Yeah.
If we could try to see if that Take Care campaign, try again, maybe with the select board.
Yeah.
There's also a new town administrator coming in. So that
Yes, indeed. Yeah, that's true.
something we could do, we can do that.
might be worth it. Anything in a way is worth it if it gets even a few people.
Yeah, and I don't think the select board has taken any action on requiring or even recommending face masks on Main Street. There, it's
Really?
well, as far as I know, I mean, there's no sign saying that you should wear a mask in town. And there's nothing on the beaches that's, easily visible that you should wear face masks. And I remember Susanna talking about having, one way, if there are two paths down to the beach, one being for up, one being for down, there's no signage regarding one way walking onto the beach either.
Maybe like the fireworks signs. I mean, this past week we saw fireworks are illegal signs, the neon signs all over the place. They're not warm and friendly signs. They would not be cuddly, but it might emphasize it. So, sometimes people forget. I have to admit, I generally wear a mask. I'm generally pretty good and conscientious, but I have upon occasion forgotten. So just getting.
But all you have to do is, I've used a handkerchief before or a piece of clothing. But
I tell you what I've learned to do is I put my mask, on a string and have that string around my neck. So when I'm out of doors, I always have my mask with me. So if I'm walking by myself, I might not put it, but it's always there. You can put it on.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know how many of you have seen people are throwing masks away or losing masks.
Yeah.
I think wear them and then they take them off the ears and they just drop onto the trail.
Yep.
It's a new kind of litter.
It is. I was
Glove.
went to the fish store
Gloves and
behind.
masks.
Yeah. The rubber glove thing you do see, and that's probably people dropping them. You see blue gloves here and there in parking lots.
Yeah, because they're single use, aren't they, basically?
Yeah.
Although I remember, Jaya, you had that good idea of when you've
Wash them.
washed them while they're still on your hands.
I use
Right.
mine again.
Just the way you would wash your hands.
Yeah.
Wash it with the gloves on and wipe them, and then you have clean gloves.
Yeah. I did read on CDC guidelines that they did not recommend doing that because they're not made to withstand washing or abrasion or that kind of thing.
But I think
you don't really, it's easier to, they just say it's easier to wash your hands than wear gloves. Just
don't wear the gloves and wash your hands.
Yeah.
Then why
or don't even wear gloves.
if you're going to wash your hands anyway?
Right.
Wear your hands.
Exactly. There you go.
The glove. Yeah.
Okay, so number 3 on our agenda is any update on the alternative to plastic aquaculture equipment? Lydia did.
Yeah, we're hoping that the check went out.
Okay, great.
$500 to each stipend. And, we haven't checked our mail at the town hall. There might have been a reply or something, so we should look at that.
Okay.
And,
Are you willing to do that? Can you go into town hall? I heard you had to have an appointment.
I'll just call over there and see if they can check in the cabinet upstairs.
Okay, already, thanks.
Yep.
Could I ask what the check is for? What are you guys buying that?
Oh, sorry. We offered a $500 stipend to 2 interns who are doing research on alternatives to plastic aquaculture equipment.
Aha, that's great.
Yeah, we had.
It's really good of them to be doing this, and we want to support them and show our gratitude. I think Lydia was the one that thought about it, and we all thought it was a very good idea.
Well, Lonnie is the point person, and it all really came out of the 5 Gyres visit that she organized. So, Lonnie, I don't know if either of them have been in touch, or Tom Sigia from the Shellfish Advisory Board.
Yes, I did hear from the young people who are doing the work, and they didn't have anything to say except they were just checking in, and presumably we'll hear more.
I'm pretty sure one is going to college in the fall. I don't know, if you'll be staying on in Wellfleet, if it's going to be virtual or what, but an engineering student, which seems like a good fit for trying to. run something.
That's perfect. Actually, you can see an engineer taking that on going into college.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Could be, yeah, like a class project or something. That's kind of my hope, that it will turn into either a competition or some kind of a design competition or something like that to get some alternatives. At the last meeting,
Oh,
yeah,
Go ahead, Lydia.
at the last meeting, we brought up the bioplastics, the plastics, polylactic acid plastics, and I think what you had said at that, Lonnie, correct me if I'm wrong, but that those are not biodegradable in the seawater, or they don't, they're not recommended for use in the water.
That's true. It's the sugar-based ones that apparently they've been able to engineer to biodegrade at a certain speed in salt water.
So there is a type of PLA that is marine
Well,
degradable, right?
it's not called PLA. It's something else.
Okay.
But
But in any case, there's a material that 3D printers use
Yeah.
that is marine degradable.
exactly.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, the thing is, I mean, does it act the same as a piece of plastic? And if it comes off of a piece of it falls into the water, and does it act? Will a creature swallow it just like they would any other kind of plastic? And that's a real concern.
Yes, exactly. That is a concern. You wouldn't want a PLA bag, for example, in the water because it would cause just as much damage inside a turtle as conventional plastic.
Mm-hmm.
Lonnie, did they have deliverables that, goals of what they're going to be doing over this 6 or 8 weeks?
I think they just want to be able to replace some things like cable ties with something that will biodegrade when it's lost out there on the flats.
Uh-huh.
There's,
Well, I presume something they should be doing is some research on what's happening elsewhere, shouldn't it?
Yeah, that's what I meant is that, the Shellfish Advisory Board did put out a request for suggestions. So apparently there's a lot of responses that I think they were going to start by going through that. And then they were going to meet with some shellfishermen, I think. I'm just wondering if somebody's sort of tracking their milestones and seeing what gets done and that kind of thing.
that would be good for Lonnie to do.
Thank you. Well, I can certainly inquire what's happening with that.
There's the original letter where they were looking for interns that has quite a bit of, the goals that set out. And so that's a good thing to look at.
Well, maybe in exchange for our stipends, we could require a report on what they've done.
Yes, that sounds reasonable.
Yeah.
It does,
You know.
yeah. And some milestones to make sure they're sort of working
That's something
and
to
progressing. Yep.
Mhm.
And maybe SAB is doing that. I don't know if there's somebody there overseeing them.
That's the thing. I think, from what I understand, they're very short-staffed at the Shellfish Constable is. And
Right.
Homstage is the point person on the Shellfish Advisory Board, and Lonnie is the person for us.
Well, I can certainly ask them what's happened so far and which contacts they've already made, because there are companies out there that are already producing biodegradable in the marine environment plastics for shellfishing. That does exist.
Okay. So if there's nothing else on that, we'll continue on to recent projects. First thing is the cooperative purchasing buying guide. And we have finished the first version of that. There was an intern from Care for the Cape and Islands that put in pictures and made my spreadsheet look nice. And it should be available hopefully this week. And I'll send copies to you guys, and it'll be going out to chambers and posted on the Care for the Cape and Islands website. We can post it on ours. So I will keep you in the loop on that. And the next
Congratulations. Congratulations.
Thank you. I just finally finished the introduction last night, and I'm very happy to be done with that project, hopefully for the rest of the summer. The water bottle refill stations, I've followed up with the water commissioner, Neil Gadway, who volunteered to do the installation of the town hall bottle refill station. So he and Jim Hood went out to the site, and they recommended a slight change in the location of it so that it's not on the concrete pad at the base of the town hall fire escape, but on the other side of the basement window to the right, which apparently goes into a maintenance room where there's also water access. And that is kind of a slope where they wouldn't have to jackhammer through
Oh, that's great.
cement. So I've been trying to get in touch with Neil to see if he's gotten in touch with DPW, but I'll just email and call DPW today and see if I can talk to Mark about meeting with Neil about his proposal and get their buy-in. So Neil will not be charging us for his time, but there will be some expenses for supplies that he needs. Next one is producer responsibility. Lydia, do you have anything on that?
Not really. I mean, I think about it all the time, especially now that there's still a ban on using reusable bags at the markets,
Mm-hmm.
locations. Most everyone, that place that I've been, they're using paper bags rather than plastic.
Yeah.
At Stop and Shop, for instance, they're not offering plastic bags there, but there may be other locations that are. I don't know about the marketplace. I haven't been there recently.
I think they're still using paper.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's good. I mean, I know that the Mass Green Network is trying to encourage, and also the Conservation Law Foundation is trying to encourage the governor to allow reusable bags again. One thing I have noticed and this was I think this was at Whole Foods in Hyannis, and they have boxes, so they're encouraging you to take a box.
Mhm.
Interesting.
Okay.
And that's something that, the big box stores like BJ's has always done. They've never had bags at all. So you take a box.
Wow.
Yeah, it's kind of works well, and that might be something we could advocate for. And in terms of producer responsibility, there's deposit bottles, and expanding the bottle bill. Considering refillable bottles again, that would be something that would be great. There's a lot of aluminum cans out there now. For most craft beer is in aluminum cans. I guess the best thing to do right now is when you go shopping, just steer clear of things that are packaged in plastic and try to get things that are loose, and vegetables and so on.
Yeah.
Did you have a question, Kathy?
Well, I was going to say that I did ask Market. So I live most of the time in Sharon, and I shop at Market Basket. And I did ask them if I could use their boxes, and that I would box my groceries. And they had a store manager respond, and he said no. Which I was really disappointed in. He said, "Oh, we're just so worried that, that the virus will be passed somehow. It'll be on a box and a customer will get it." So they did not allow it. I don't know if I saw boxes. I saw boxes at the market in Wellfleet, and they do give them away. But I don't know about the big places like Stop and Shop or Shaw's.
I think Stop and Shop is doing it now.
is giving away the boxes. That's good.
Yeah, I think
It's
that's,
usually they crush them all before you
Yes,
can.
I was going to say they
Yeah.
accumulate so quickly, they get rid of them as fast as they can usually.
They do.
That's better. I actually have them just
Oh,
put the
sure.
groceries back in my carriage and then
Right. And then carry them out.
tag
Yeah.
them when I get to my
Yeah,
car.
at least
So
they do that.
box would be easier.
For
Yeah.
sure. There's one other thing I wanted to mention. Someone I'm working on the Bind Guide with, who works at on the Sea Grant for Woods Hole, forwarded something from the Product Stewardship Institute, and they've come out with reducing plastic use guides for businesses, schools, a lot of different entities. I'll forward that to the group, and you can download the information. And that kind of folds into what we're trying to do with the Buying Guide promoting compostable products.
Mhm.
So I will forward that to everybody. If there's nothing else, the fall tax insert deadline is September 1st if we do want to put something in.
Maybe that the swap shop might be a good thing. Say, for instance, just supposing that it does reopen in the fall,
Mm-hmm.
that might be a good way to reach people.
Mm-hmm. Also, the bottle ban
Yes.
will be on the ballot. I mean, town meeting.
Oh,
So this is a commercial water bottle ban, Kathy. Last year we did a municipal bottle ban so that the
I
wealthy
did not know.
town
that.
cannot purchase single-use plastic water bottles. So this year there's a Cape-wide effort to, and a lot of towns are using sort of the same language to get a commercial water bottle ban through.
That's great. So I didn't notice it because I never buy bottled water. I don't even try. But
Mhm.
so no place in Wellfleet.
No, it's just going to be voted on at town meeting this year, which is in October. So it's on the warrant, but it hasn't, town meeting hasn't happened yet.
But something did pass last year.
Last year, a municipal plastic bottle ban passed unanimously, and that restricts the town itself from purchasing or distributing
Oh, I see.
single-use water bottles,
There are
It's-
exceptions during
with exceptions for, fire and police.
emergency and during times of emergency, like now, for instance.
It would be nice if other towns did that in concert,
Mhm.
so that someone didn't say, "Well, I'll just go to Orleans and buy my 12
Well,
cases
that's
of
why
bottled water."
a group on the Cape called Sustainable Practices has coordinated and had people in all towns trying to get it on the ballot. So I think it's either 9 or 11 out of the 14 and 15 towns that do have it on the ballot.
That's so exciting.
Yeah. So we do need to start doing some outreach for that.
I thought that the situation there was if other towns nearby are going to do it, then Wellfleet would feel more comfortable doing it.
That's what the water commissioners said. They didn't want to recommend it unless that
Like Eastham or
either the language was changed or something, but it's too late to change the language. But what happened in Eastham is that I think it was the chair of the select board said that there's an easy way to get around that by, since it doesn't go into effect by until September 2021, at town hall meeting earlier in 2021, they can postpone the effective date until it's passed by other towns.
I see.
So that seemed like a reasonable way to address that concern of people that, what if we're the only town on the Cape that passes it? Or if our neighboring towns don't pass it. And they seemed, Jim Hood, who's the chair of the water commissioners, was comfortable with that.
Mhm.
Do you think that it's possible to do an amendment to the article at the town meeting, that it could be written and someone present it at town meeting and it would alter the
Yeah.
actual article?
That is an option. We did that last year to add an amendment about emergency use of the plastic water bottles. It's possible. What do you think, Lydia?
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. A lot has changed since the bylaw was drafted or the article. So,
Exactly. And this is not the best time. Things that, I mean, people are using a lot more water bottles, unfortunately. Another thing is that apparently a lot of people who rent here bring water with them or buy water, not knowing what the status of well water or town water is. So
that's too bad.
it is.
Well, not many people are on town water then. You know, most
Yeah,
people.
if they're on
will
town
not
water,
be
they
on-
don't know, and if they're not, they somehow think. Anyway, that's something a lot to promote or provide information about well water and it being tested and what might be in it, and the fact that bottled water has absolutely no guarantee that it's safe or
Right.
verified, whereas people's house water is, although it's not enforced that you always test either, though, is it?
Mhm. No.
But anyway, that's sort of part of the outreach we need to do. And maybe if you rent, you're required to test it. I don't know.
I don't think so. I think they're talking
Yeah.
about it now. That's for sure. The Board
You're
of
right.
Health requiring.
Ah, right. Okay.
Actually, I don't know. That's
An
good.
interesting thing several years ago, and I wish I could remember where the info came from, that one in Poland Springs was found to be near an industrial parking lot. So a spring can be anywhere, and we have the notion, the automatic notion, spring purity.
Yeah.
That's not
Yes, yeah.
necessarily so.
Yeah,
Mhm.
If we're considering bottle bans, that really underscores the need for filling stations, water bottle filling stations.
Right.
So it's
Yeah.
great
And
that
that's why we started that. Is it 2 years ago, Lydia, that the first one, there's one at Bakersfield, which we got a grant from Care for the Cape and Islands to put up. And we did a fundraising campaign in 2019 and have raised funds for one for the marina and one for town hall. But the
Wow.
one at the marina has been sitting in their garage for over a year, waiting for them to get around to install it. It's getting a little frustrating. Last time I talked to them, yeah, I think we'll have it done by the end of May, but it's still not there. And
That
then,
would be a great thing to put on the website.
mhm, yes.
Maybe even would push them if they saw that.
Yeah, well, we had a commercial sponsor who's waiting for their little plaque to get put up. And so
Yeah.
what do you think, Lydia? Maybe we can both go down there?
Yeah, that's a good idea. We could 6 feet apart. We could do that.
With your mask on.
That's the only kind of together I do. So
Yeah. Yeah.
I've been bike riding with a friend whose husband has issues that he needs to be extra careful. So we wear our masks while biking. So I'll do anything.
Do it for a friend.
Right.
The idea of the hand washing stations, could be a reality for us in the future as well. So that's something to look into.
You mean to,
Yeah.
like the ones they have at the beaches?
Well, those ones aren't those like the porta potties?
They are. You have to open a door to get into it, and then I haven't used it.
Yeah,
I
that
keep away
doesn't
from
seem
it,
too
but-
sanitary to me. I don't think I would use personally, I don't know if I would use those. I would feel much better about a real sink, or even if it were just freestanding, not on a
Yeah.
base.
Instead of closed in, then the sun can hit it and guys and all closed in. I saw one the other day when I drove to the beach, and
Mhm.
I felt the same way.
Now, do you mean as part of the water bottle refill
Well,
stations, or? uh,
It might be
separate-
something we could look into in the future, like,
Mhm.
saying that there was this desire to have water stations, and it was, because it's a successful program. We raised quite a bit of money through a fundraising letter to do it. And I think, public water, hand washing, refilling your bottle, that's all good.
Mhm. Right.
Maybe one day there could be a station where they could refill and also wash.
Mhm.
Right,
But
yeah.
Okay. Well, keep thinking, everyone, about ideas for the fall tax insert. We haven't talked to anyone, Lydia, have we yet, about what they're going to be charging or how they're charging this year?
right, yeah, I'm sorry, I haven't done that.
That's okay. Was that someone?
Yeah, the town collector is Karen Murphy.
Yeah.
She's
Okay.
at town hall.
Ready?
It's probably best to email her, and it's up to, I think what they're planning is to have one piece of paper
Mm-hmm.
rather than a lot of little slips of paper.
Okay.
So we could have a third of it or something like that. Maybe
Alrighty.
I don't know if it'll be double-sided or not.
Okay. That sounds like a much better idea. So maybe it won't be as expensive as it was a couple of years ago.
Right. They would just print, format it so it would be printed on one side or.
Right. Okay. Are you willing to email her?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Sure.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
And I will see if I can set a time to talk to either Will or the harbor master. I'll do that. So the last thing was under updates on recent projects is regional plastic water bottle ban town meeting October 5th, which I guess we pretty much already addressed. And I guess next month we need to start thinking about outreach efforts. Now, one of the things, Lydia, is some of the committees that we were going to get support from, we need to get back on the agendas. And
Oh, yeah.
so let's think about that.
Okay.
for next month.
Let's see, that amendment that we would write,
Mhm.
would we use the Easthams? The language from Eastham?
Well,
Or
they didn't really do an amendment.
okay.
They just said that, because there's a year before it takes effect, there's time to add to vote a deferral to
Mhm.
effectiveness in 2021.
Okay.
I mean, the problem about putting an amendment in is, and then we have very specific language, and what are we going to say? Just our neighbors, other outer Cape towns.
Right.
Because if it has an amendment just in terms of when it goes into effect, then it's kind of tied to things, and we don't have any flexibility that we might have if we just passed it and then waited to see if we need to extend the effective date
Mhm.
in 2021
Mm.
based on what's been going on.
Okay.
So there's two ways to think about it, but does anybody have any other input on amendment versus just during our presentation of the bill and our outreach? And maybe what we should do is reach out to other Outer Cape towns. What do you think, Lydia?
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Because we could sort of have a
Yeah, a
try to
block.
put it, a block, right? Because if it were Orleans up, to P-Town, that would be
Yeah.
that'd be great.
We're a little more distant. I don't know if that's a bad idea or a good idea.
What, to do more towns?
And if the effective date were a little farther off.
Oh, right. That's another option.
Mhm.
I can also talk to Sustainable Practices and see what they're hearing, if anything. I don't think any towns have actually voted on it, have they?
Not that I know of.
Okay.
I mean, we know that.
Didn't Truro have a town meeting? I thought they had it outdoors somewhere.
I know Orleans did.
Oh, okay.
We had an outdoor town meeting.
Okay.
And then there's, well, isn't it Tisbury that has the commercial ban in place on Martha's Vineyard, West
I think
Tisbury?
so.
Yeah.
I'll get in touch with, maybe Carrie can help coordinate amongst those, the Outer Cape towns at least.
Mhm. Good idea.
Yeah, okay. I will follow up on that. Next thing was community cutlery.
Yeah, we have, there's a woman who plans to marry in October, and we put our community cutlery, all the things that we have, the silverware, the napkins, the carafes and the glasses and the plates. We put those up in a Google Doc, and at a while back she was looking for tablecloths, I think 16 of them. Anyway, I'm not quite sure. But there's plates in the town of Truro that the elementary school uses for their spaghetti supper. And I think Bridget is the person that was getting married. She was going to ask Truro about that.
Right.
Gabrielle Griffiths offered tablecloths, the same ones that she used at her wedding.
Oh, that's nice.
There's,
So, Kathy, this is a zero waste wedding, which we promote
Wow, that's
zero
wonderful.
waste events with something called Community Cutlery that Lydia started, I don't know, more than 5 years ago.
it was really a long time. It was like 2011 or something.
Oh, okay, a long time ago.
Wonderful.
And it started with, some cutlery purchases, sets, and then also things from the swap shop, and it's been added to over the years. Last couple of years, when people have big events, they often will donate what they've purchased, so it's grown. And it's now going to be the beginnings of a library of things at the Wellfleet Library. They're going to start loaning out things, but of course, all that's tabled for now with the pandemic. They don't want to be having things going in and out.
Mm.
But in any case,
Such a
assuming
great-
that it opens up again and Bridget's wedding is on for October, then she'll be borrowing things from our inventory.
Yeah, there's there might be some things that we could collect either from AIM or, well, we'll have to think about how to do this, because I know she needs like more wine glasses than we have and things like that. So
Mhm.
at a certain point, when things look like they're more definite, we can maybe put out a call for donations for
Right.
those things rather than try to buy them. I think the napkins we did purchase,
Mhm.
but most everything else, well, a lot of
It's
other things we purchased. There's,
And I have an action item to purchase the replacements for the things we lost in that shed fire. And I haven't done that yet, but still on my to-do list. So I'll try to get back to that.
Where do these things live?
well, they used to live some at the transfer station, some at the library.
And the shed that a lot of things were stored in burned down last summer. And the town has insurance, so they're paying out of the general fund for replacements, but we have to order and pay and then get reimbursements or get invoice. Anyway, it's a little complicated. So we've started, but there's still plenty, well, there's about, I think, 5 more items to order. Okay, so the next item is Energy and Climate Action Committee Liaison, and Carol's not on, so nothing there. And social media, Chris couldn't make it, but we mentioned some things that we could talk to her about, and I can't remember what they were. But if anyone has suggestions for postings, was it the,
Something with Instagram, putting
Oh, yeah.
something out on Instagram.
right, we were talking about Instagram for the producer, was it producer responsibility maybe?
I think it
No,
was
it was for things you wanted to swap. You could do it online.
Oh,
and-
yes, right,
until the swap shop opened.
right, swap shop, alternatives, right,
virtual swap shop.
there you go.
Mhm.
And suggest that people use Wellfleet swap page. Next thing was any correspondence.
Not that I know of, and I will check the, to see if there's any mail in our mailbox there.
Okay.
By
And
phone.
then we have the minutes from our June meeting, which I'm going to share so that we can look at them. I thought I had them up.
Is this better? Yeah, it's better.
Okay, so apparently I'm sharing. So I don't know if everybody can see that.
I
Um,
can.
Yeah, I don't know if anyone's read through it. I know that Lydia has reviewed it. So,
Yes, I've read it. It's
okay,
fine.
all
I'll
righty,
make a motion to approve them.
all righty.
Second.
Say aye if you approve the
Aye.
minutes. Or Jane.
Aye.
I'll continue with what you're eyeing to approve the minutes for January 2nd as shown here. Thank you. So we have 5 ayes, 4 ayes. How many members do we have here?
Yeah, 5.
5, okay.
5 eyes.
Because Lonnie's here, right? I just can't see her, but she's still there.
Mhm.
All righty. And that is it. Our next meeting is on August 2nd, which Lydia will chair. And Jane, if you want to just, I can call you and you can just verbally give me the stuff to write up, or you can write it up and send it to me, whatever works for the minutes.
Well, I've been sort of following the agenda, so I'll try and decipher my notes and send them to you.
Sounds wonderful. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Thank you
So
for
can
I
doing that,
won't.
Jane.
I'm not going to say it's been a pleasure. I hate doing the minutes.
Don't we all? That's why we all, that's why I always end up doing them
I
if I'm
just
not
think people
caring.
are more efficient than I am.
I don't know how you do it. You do the, yeah, I can't do 2 things like that at once.
Well, it's not, yeah, well, I've done it a few times when I'm chairing and it doesn't work well. I have to go back and look at the recording, which, speaking of which, I forgot to say, this is being recorded for
For people's viewing pleasure.
yeah, for people to review on
Actually, it
the
might just be audio. I don't know if they record the video.
Actually, how do you do that? How do you do that? You mean any of us can go in and find it and listen again?
Yeah, they're all posted on the town website. So for the, there's one place where all the things are when Mia was, videotaping them.
Yeah.
Now for the ones that are being done through Zoom, they're on the COVID website part. So if you go follow the links from the town website to, I can actually show you because I'm sharing my screen here. So we can just go to the town website and go to the COVID and then go to that link. And then on the side here, there is emergency management team community up. Nope, here it is. Board and committee meeting recordings virtual during COVID. And there's the list.
This is not what's on my screen here. Let's see.
So are you seeing my screen here?
No.
You're
No.
seeing your inbox. I mean, your mail.
I'm seeing your last email. That's all.
Oh, okay, well, let me make this big so that you just see this. Are you seeing that?
No.
No, that's no change. No
Oh.
change.
Well, let me, oh, it's paused, it says. Okay. How do I unpause it?
I don't know.
I'm going to stop the
There you
share.
go. Oh, now I can see you
Oh.
again.
Okay, I'm going to try to share it again. Can you see that?
Yeah. It's,
Okay.
but it's just, well, anyway, it's like a one line.
Oh, weird.
It's not the full
I
page.
see. Okay. But in any case, now
Yeah.
you don't see how I got there, but I can send it out if you're interested.
Okay.
Let me just try doing it again and see if you can see it. Can you see that? The town website?
It's just a strip.
It's just one line.
How odd. Okay.
Oh, you know what it might be? It might be that one window is in front of it on your computer, maybe?
It's possible that my Zoom window is on front, so I don't know why it's not hidden.
If the meeting is concluded, I think I'm gonna sign off.
Okay, so let me just note the time here. We are finished as of 3:10 p.m.
Okay, I hope
I'm
you
going
all
to-
are very well for the next.
Okay,
Yeah,
and I'll send directions to how to get to the, I'll send them out, email you.
Thank you for letting me attend. Thank
oh,
you.
it's great to
You
have you.
are very welcome. Thanks for joining us.
Hope to
All
see you
righty,
next month.
nice to see everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Care.
Have a nice
Bye-bye.
rest of the day.
You too.
Thanks.